Welcome back to the channel, everyone. This is Vikram and I'm driving the all-new Mahindra XUV300 diesel manual, and that is the reason behind my excitement. And this is the key of the car, just like any other Mahindra key, and that has actually become my trademark dialogue. I've been telling that in almost every review because car makers obviously make same keys for all of their cars. And coming to the front profile of the car, it's got projector setup. Cornering lamp happens to be a halogen, and indicator as well is a halogen. DRL LED, very nice thing, and fog lamp happens to be a halogen again. And this is something that really caught my attention. This car has got front parking sensors at this price point. Very nice thing by Mahindra. Coming to the side profile of the car, it looks massive. In certain angles, it really looks very big. And this is actually a big car. It's got 180 millimeters of ground clearance, so you got it covered in every terrain whatsoever. So over here we have 215/55R17s, and all the four wheels get disc brakes, which is again a very nice thing. And alloy design actually looks nice. It's not a proper diamond cut one, but it is, very nice. Rear tire, same 215/55 17. I was about to say 16, actually. It's a 17-inch wheel in the rear as well, and as I said, discs in the rear as well, which is a very nice thing. Actually, the braking of this car is very nice, and this is some of my favorite aspects. So these tail lamps are obviously LEDs, but tail indicators are not. They're halogens, reflector and rear parking sensors, 4 of them. And this is the towing hook of the car, and regular stuff, W8 top of the line, and Mahindra logo, Mahindra XUV300 badging and all that stuff. So nothing special over here. So let me get into the car and show you the interior. As you can see, the rear doors are actually heavy. It's a heavy car. Quality is really robust, and piano black finishing, power window controls, switches feel very premium, and white colored interiors. So this car actually feels very airy because of that white color. And coming to the front door, piano black finishing again, power window controls, ORVM controls. This is to open and close the ORVMs, and chrome finishing on the door handles. And this is actually an issue. Light colored or proper white color interiors, they tend to catch a lot of dirt. And this is the pedal lamp of the car, which is a very nice touch. This is actually present on the co-passenger side as well. Whenever the door is open, no matter day or night, that thing glows. And this is actually something that caught my attention. This panel, this is the traction control button. This is to turn on and off the start stop system for fuel economy, of course, and this is for the parking sensors. And this is, of course, the headlight leveler of the car. And coming to the steering wheel, a lot of controls. On the left side we have controls for the audio system, or rather the infotainment system, and on the right side cruise control buttons. And center console is a very busy place with all these buttons and all. And we have start engine stop button was hidden somewhere over here, and there the engine starts. AC makes a lot of noise actually, but it's really a chiller. And this car has got a perfect dual zone climate control AC. At this price point, I think this is the only car to get dual zone or rather front dual zone climate control AC. And coming to the instrument cluster, and it makes this cool graphic thing and sound whenever we turn the car on. I'm going to turn it off, or else it's gonna make a lot of noise. So coming to the cluster, on the left we have a tacho, on the right we have speedometer marked all the way till 220 km/h. It definitely is not gonna do 220. So in the middle we've got an MID with a lot of information like distance to empty, fuel gauge, engine temperature gauge, gear position indicator, gear shift indicator, odo, trip meters and all that stuff, and some instantaneous fuel economy as well. Now it's showing 18.5, but this car even return numbers like 20 at some instances. And over here we have a proper auto dimming rear view mirror, which is very useful in the night time. And this is a sunglass holder of the car. Sunroof controls. It's got a sunroof, which is again a very nice thing, but a small one. Who cares, man? It has a sunroof. And this has to be done manually. in a lot of cars these days. Airbag, airbag, and airbag, pillar airbag, or rather curtain airbags. Very nice touch. And sun blinds has got mirror along with light. Same case over here as well. And this is the Bluetooth audio receiver of the car. So guys, this is pretty much about the interior and exterior of the XUV300 diesel manual. Real charm of this car lies in its engine. So let's get driving without any delay. I am really very excited. I am currently sitting in the driving seat of the XUV300 diesel manual, and it's actually a very spacious car, and it does feel like a big car. There is that big car feel. Though it's a compact SUV, it's a sub 4 meter SUV. There is definitely that big car feel in this car, all because of the high raised platform and ground clearance is more than adequate actually for our roads. And this car runs on a 1.5 liter 1497cc to be precise, inline 4-cylinder engine, and that does produce 115 to 118 bhp of power, and torque output happens to be somewhere around 300 newton meters. That is the sole reason why this car is really fun to drive. These days companies literally stopped making diesel cars, most of the companies, and Mahindra is one of the last companies to produce diesel cars. Even they can discontinue diesels at any moment, but hopefully not, because they're more into commercial vehicle manufacturing, which definitely need diesel engines. So that is a positive thing about these cars. And as I said, 300 newton meters every single time we step onto the throttle, it rewards. It is very torquey. As you can see, overtaking is not at all an issue. I don't even have to do a downshift in order to overtake. That is the amount of tractability this engine has. And at any given moment, I'm currently in 6th gear and cruising at 100 mph, and the moment I step onto the throttle, it responds whatsoever. There is some amount of turbo lag initially, but apart from that, everything is super fine in this car. It's very smooth, it's very refined, but there is some amount of diesel clatter. Of course, it's a diesel car, so it has to have that clatter, or else it definitely misses out on that feel of driving a diesel car. But it is not unbearable as such, but it is refined enough. Cabin is very well insulated. You just can't hear more noises from outside. Once you get past 120-130 kmph, then you can hear some amount of road noise and tire noise or whatever. But under that range, it's very smooth car. It is very comfortable. And coming to the suspension, I expected this to be very, very, very soft like the Venue or Creta, but that is not the case over here. It's well tuned, it's very well calibrated, it's stiff at higher speeds, not too stiff, but it at least doesn't get bouncy like all other cars which sit high, or cars which were built on higher platforms. This actually has a very well calibrated suspension. It stabilizes the car perfectly when you're doing top speeds and or high speeds, and at the same time it comforts you when the patches are horrible, which is a very common scenario here in India. As you can see, now I'm driving on a very rough patch of road, and I don't know how the camera is taking it, but it's very smooth. The suspension is very well tuned for Indian roads. And there is definitely that big car feel, because you sit higher, driving position is commanding, and it's not a very tough car to drive. Of course, there are a couple of blind spots. These A-pillars are massive, actually. They're obnoxious, which definitely make some blind spots, but once you get used to it, like after driving it for a couple of days, you definitely get used to it, and that's not a big problem. In fact, Nexon and few other cars of this segment as well have heavy blind spots, so that is definitely not something which I should complain about. Horn is not so strong as such. That is not what I expected from a Mahindra. I don't know if it's an issue with this particular car or whatever. as you can see, the engine is so tractable that I'm continuously cruising in 6th gear, and even I encounter some traffic. I didn't have to do any downshift or anything of that sort. It is very tractable, and it's very punchy as such. All that 300 Newton meters torque comes in handy, and this car comes with cruise control. This is obviously the top of the line W8 variant, so it's got cruise control, which controls are very simple. It's just that simple. And coming to the fuel economy, that is something which definitely needs a mention, because I've been driving this car for over 100 kilometers already, and it's showing like around 19-20 kmpl. I'm in 6th gear, cruising at 80 to 100 kmph, and it returns some very good numbers, because it's a big car. At least not very big, but you know, the feel of big car is there in this car. It's very powerful for its size and weight, so I didn't expect it to return such numbers like 18, 19 and 20 kmpl at some instances, so that's a very good thing as well. And negatives I identified in this car is that it doesn't have a dedicated dead pedal, which is kind of tiring while long drives. Many of the cars these days have dead pedals, so Mahindra, I think they should add something like that in the next generation or next upgrade. Apart from that, I didn't find any big drawbacks as such. It's a very good car. It's a very easy car to drive, and it's very handy as well. You know, engine is very tractable, very torquey, and there is that diesel kick to it. But turbo lag is definitely there in the initial end of the rev range, but once you get into mid-range, it shines. It's very charming in the mid-range, like any other diesel car. So that is my review of the Mahindra XUV300. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram. See you in the next video real soon. Until then, this is Vikram signing off.